So this notebook objective was to explore the meaning of level 2 flags level 2 flags coming with ocean color data. So here we wanted to see what the flags do in reality when they are activated, means when we select them to be on or off. So here we had we had the import library, and then we have this exercise with Modis Aqua. We will skip exercise with SGLI because it takes quite some time and is memory intensive. So in some computers, maybe with low memory might not be, result in memory error. So you can try it in later time or maybe using a different computer. So here also in the new materials, we included requirement text. So you can also simply run this command before importing library. You can run this command and then it will read this file and then try to install all necessary packages. So you can see here, if you see something like this, requirement already satisfied, means that the requirement have been, the modules have been installed. So then we skip. So these are simply warning. Yeah, for now, we don't have to worry about. Then we can run the cell button to import. So if everything finished successfully, you will see a number here after a stop. If you see any error below, means that something went wrong. And then we also have some modules that have been made locally, and then we append, we use this system. So here we have data manipulation. For example, we have NumPy, which is used for handling arrays. And then we have HDF5 for handling HDF5 and netcdf5. And here, this one will handle the system variables. For example, these modules, all of them are inside the Python system. So this the path where they are located is known by the system. But where we have our module, for example, I have my own code which I wrote. The system doesn't know where it's located. So I have to add this path so that when it tries to import.
Дагестан какой-то. Казахстан.
So that when it is trying to import, it can know the path and import it. So if everything went successful, means that, yeah, we were able to import the module. And then here, we use netcdf4 here, dataset, which we imported here. We use it to read our file. So we have sample data. So inside our materials, there is a folder inside 2 that says sample data. So inside the sample data, we have this file. So we read this file, and from this file, we get, so this is reading the structure of the file, we get the geolocation information, we get the level 2 flags. We also read chlorophyll data. We run it, it will take a few seconds, and then a number appears. Once a number appears, means everything is completed. And then we move down. So here we show the level 2 flags. These level 2 flags here are organized by a bit number. And from 0 to 31, so meaning 32 flags. So here you have 0 is atmospheric failure, and 1 is land, and so on. 9 is cloud. So in level 2 flags from, for example, MODIS Aqua data, for level 2 data, some of the flags are on by default, meaning that whether you apply the flag to mask data to screen out the data, for example, if you have a chlorophyll and you say you don't want to include data that is on land, you just mask that data. But some of these flags come by default already turned on by NASA during the processing. One of them is land, and the other one is cloud, for example. So here, this is a kind of a function that helps us extract each bit flag. So all information is contained in level 2 flags, right? So this all information which is combined, then we need to extract each flag from this whole combined. So this function will help us do that. And here, for example, if we select, let's say, instead of selecting 9, which is cloud, we can select 1. So basically, if we read this information, you will see that all this part, which is land here on the left, you have the level 2 flag turned on for 1. And on the right, this should be chlorophyll data. So focusing on the left side, you see that everywhere where is land, you have blue color, meaning that now we select the land flag. So this one tells us where we have land. If you select 9, it will only tell you where you have, for example, where you have cloud. So, just a minute. Oh, sorry. I believe the notebook you have, probably there is a small, I think I fixed that yesterday. It's just the location where this log norm should be located is in the second and the x.1, not in 0. So what I was saying is, for example, for land, as we can see here, whether we mask or not the data, by default, over the land, the data is masked. So these are kind of flags that are already on by default, similar to cloud. So wherever we have cloud, we have the data masked already. But we can look at different other flags. Maybe we can select 3, and then we will find that for these other flags, we need to manually mask by ourselves. So in that case, the data might not be masked. For example, we see this part here, we have data, meaning that this data is not masked by default. So we can play with these numbers and see how different flags affect the chlorophyll data. Yeah. Yes, so this is basically all. So what you can do now is try to run on your computer, and starting from where you have import module, you run the cell, you go to here and press run. This will import all modules, and then Following that, you hit the system append so that you can add the local modules, and then you read the data. Read the data by running this cell, and after that you have to run this cell with the function that extract the flag you select. And finally, you can play a little bit with the bits here, so you can understand how these flags, which flags are on by default and which are not, and how, if you apply the mask, how they will affect your chlorophyll data at the end. So you can have 5 minutes to try it, and if you find any error, please report. You can unmute and say something, or send over the chat. And during this period, I will try to look at some people had encountered some issues. Someone is saying that got add coastline, no coastline. I mean, I got error here, attribute error, module sutils has no attribute add coastline. Yeah, this is it's quite strange. If you go to, it's quite strange. I saw this same error yesterday, and I really don't understand what's going on your computer. I don't know if anyone else is having the same issue. But if you go to the materials inside, you will see the folder with name sutils. And then you see this underscore init.py. You can open it with any text editor. And then inside this one, you can search the same thing, add cost. So you can see we have add coastline here. So I'm not sure why your computer is reporting there is no add coastline. This is already added there. So this is something, yeah. If you have time later on, after the hands-on, we can try to find out together what is the problem you are facing. So if anyone has any question about this exercise, please let me know. Usually, runtime warning is not error. That is saying it's just warning you about values. So this is just a warning. I believe it won't stop running. And instead of using to avoid this warning, you can replace the np.log10. Why you get this warning is because this is a masked array. So either you can add here MA, or just replace the log with, just remove the log and use same style as I used here. Instead of taking log of data, normalize it with log norm. In that case, just copy this same line here, because I see this exercise is for, the warning is coming for SGLI. So just copy the same line 6 here, and then replace this one. Replace it here, but then, yeah, replace it here, and then delete this part where you take log node. I believe the warning will go away. But warning usually is just a warning. It will not stop the processing. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I believe everyone, if no questions, then we move to today's exercises.